Picking up women isn't rocket science. It's pure psychology. In this short presentation, I will show you how to conquer the heart of a woman step by step by using psychological techniques, and I would like to show you the reason why women get addicted to some men. But first, let me explain a little psychological trick. Most guys think that if the conversation with a woman is going well, they need to keep that moment and enjoy it as long as possible, until the conversation gets to a point where both of them don't know what to talk about next. What these guys don't know is that our human psychology only uses 2 points of reference to evaluate experiences: the climax and the end. For example, if she is on a date with you and later asks herself how the date was, she will subconsciously only use the climax and the end for her evaluation. So use a simple trick and bring these reference points together. In other words, end each conversation only at some point of climax. This means whenever you are in contact with a woman during a chat, a phone call, flirt, or date, end the interaction only at a moment when you both feel connected and having an interesting and active conversation. If you apply this simple tip, then you will leave her with the feeling that you are both on the same wavelength, and she will relate her experience with you precisely to this point. This increases your chances of arousing her interest as much as possible. Just imagine the conversation, date, or chat with you and the woman goes well. You are both on the same wavelength, and then you end the conversation. Imagine what is going through her head after you did this. She will ask herself, what happened here? Otherwise, the men will run after me. Why he ended the conversation? Normally I do this. Will I ever see him again? I have to see him again. Imagine how much more likely it is that she wants to stay in contact with you. There are fundamental laws in the psychology of humans. 1. We only use 2 points of reference to evaluate experiences. 2. We always measure the value of things in their accessibility. 3. The impressions of our childhood shape our whole life. So if you want to know how you can use this knowledge to picking up women, watch this video until the end. I will also show you how you can benefit from the illusions which get planted in the minds of women by the movie industry up from an early age. I'll show you psychological trigger techniques that only a few men know. This knowledge makes the difference whether women see you as a potential partner or just as a good friend. You maybe think now that you already know all kinds of flirt tips, but this goes deeper than a few simple tips. I guarantee you have never heard these psychological tricks before. One particular method is my favorite when you want a woman to fall in love with you, and I'll reveal this method to you at the end of this video, so make sure you watch it until the end. But first, I have to tell you my own story of how I discovered these methods. I had problems to get in contact with women. Maybe you know this situation. After I had embarrassed myself a few times with stupid pickup lines, I wasn't able to speak to a woman that I found attractive because I never knew what to say. I was in a situation where I needed to change myself, but one more thing had to happen before I started the transformation that changes my life. I'm an IT worker in a small company. My colleagues are usually not what you can call womanizers. But one day we got a new employee, and my task was to prepare him for his job and to show him everything that he needs to know. I'm not generally shy, and I never had a problem starting a conversation, exception when it comes to an attractive woman. So we started to talk about a lot of private things and became good friends. When he told me about his weekends, it turned out quickly that he had no problems getting in touch with a lot of women, which surprised me because he wasn't what you can call an attractive man. At first I didn't tell him about my problem with women because I didn't believe his pickup stories at all. But after I started going to bars and clubs with him a few times and could see how he'd get easily in contact with some very pretty women, made them laugh and check their phone numbers, I asked him directly how he managed to get attractive women interested in him so easily. He agreed to share what he calls his pickup technique with me and showed me a series of psychological hacks that all these womanizer guys also use. Most of these tricks work on 80% of the women out there. The success I have with women today is solely based on the luck that this guy stepped into my life and that he shares all his methods with me. At the same time, he is also the reason why I want to share my knowledge with you, because many guys have problems with picking up women, and not everyone is lucky enough to meet such kind of mentor in life. After some practice, these methods allowed me to transform from the greatest loser to a successful guy when it comes to picking up women. It makes me able to pick up women anytime and anywhere, without fearing to blame myself for using stupid pickup lines. These methods not only work when it comes to flirting with women in bars, clubs, or public places, it will also work if you want that one specific woman falls in love with you, because the process of arousing interest and the steps of converting that interest into feelings, and finally the transformation of these feelings into a feeling of being in love, is always guided by the same psychological process. But at first, we need to clear some basics and have to switch from our male perspective to a female perspective. The truth is, when you get out there as a woman, you constantly get compliments and get attention from strangers. When you register in a dating app, every feature is free. You don't have to pay for messages or likes, and you get spammed because there are many pretty and smart guys out there. So for a woman looking for a partner or affair, the supply far exceeds the demand. But luckily, there is a fundamental law of psychology and life. Nothing that is worth to have will fall into your lap. Maybe you are confused now, so I make an example that is more understandable for our male brain. Do you like to drive a supercar, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche? Imagine, would you also like to drive such a car if everyone out there has one in the garage? The answer for most people is no, because at the time everyone can own such a car means the object loses its worth. So if you try to show a woman that you a good catch, you get lost in all the smart guys that she can have easily if she wants, because you show her that she can have you too. In other words, you lose your worth. You may know this phenomenon. Women often run after the assholes who seem not to appreciate them and sometimes even treat them badly. I don't want that you mistreat women. I only want you to understand this phenomenon and be able to use it in a different form. In our society, a woman measures her worth by the attention she gets. And you get her interest by being nice, but not paying her the attention that she gets normally from other guys. If you find yourself constantly spending money for drinks, gifts, and expensive dinners, run after her and make a fool of yourself, that's also the point when she loses all interest in you, because with such a behavior, you will not trigger any attraction in her. So listen to me. It's not your fault if you had problems to get attention from women. If you want to blame someone for your problems with women, then take a closer look at the lifestyle magazines, movie industry, and book writers, because they have created an illusion far from reality. Of course, that's because romantic fantasies sell better than psychological laws. Make a little test. Check out some of your friends who would do everything for a woman and always try to do their best. And then take a look at some friends who are not trying to please every woman and always do their own thing. What is your experience, or what did you think? Which of the two types is more successful with women? Surveys have shown that it is the second type. And what tell us the film industry and even women? They tell us the illusion that a man only wins the heart of a woman by showing that he is a good catch, and all this with compliments, gifts, and a lot of Hollywood romantic. But the truth is, all of these behaviors will only work when a woman is already in love with you, and not if you have to arouse their interest in the first step. This kind of behavior appeals to the benevolence of a woman, which is why women tell you that this is what they want. Of course, because they all like attention. But what they don't tell you is that women don't fall in love with such men, only with the ones they feel attracted to. So if you show interest in a woman too early, then she will not feel attracted to you because with this behavior, you subordinated yourself. You will be only another guy that she can have with one finger snap. With this behavior, she doesn't get interested in you because it's in human nature to desire only the things that we can't get easily. Remember the supercar example? Or take what you want, being a rock star, supermodel, or live in a big mansion. We humans always measure the value of things in their accessibility. That's a psychological law of our society. Now you know this law, and know that your success with women has been primarily held back by illusions that get planted also in your mind by the movie industry. We can move on to the next tricks that I offer you in this video. Thousands of other men already use these tricks to attract women and become desired. And the most important one is my attraction hack, who shows you exactly how to attract the interest of a woman and make it grow without pretending to be someone else, without proving yourself, and without courting anyone. In a few moments, I will reveal the details of this attraction hack to you. But first of all, there is one behavior that you need to know and avoid to attract the interest of a woman. If you apply romance soon, of course women like it. But at the same time, they also become unsure if they want more from you because you subordinated yourself. So avoid romance completely when you start dating a woman. You can implement romance only when a woman already feels attracted to you, because only then romance has the right effect. Be nice, but treat them like a buddy, not like a queen. If you just implement this one tip, women perceive you much more interesting because it makes her feel like you are not putting any pressure on her. As a result, they will give you deeper insights into themselves and contact you to spend more time with you to see if they feel more for you and if you also feel something for them. So they will flirt much more openly and be more sexual. If you pay attention to this small change, your chances with women increase drastically. You feel much stronger because her interest will make you more confident, and that will also affect the way you communicate and treat her. And the next tip is crucial because without trick number 3, you can forget the other 2 tricks. Number 3 makes the difference between ending up with a woman only as a good friend or the man she wants to fall in love with. I call it the attraction hack, and this technique is valued by any man who is successful with picking up women, no matter if he knows this technique or uses it instinctively. As I said before, our human nature is that we feel desire only for things that we can't have easily. They attract us like an urge, so we want them, and often against all logic. Conversely, in our psychology, this means that we don't feel attracted to things that we can have easily because we don't feel this urge. The romantic prince from the Walt Disney movies will have problems to attract the attention of a woman because there are hundreds of princes in the real world and they all want to attract a woman with the same behavior. So there will be no happy end for such a prince in the real world. Picking up women consists of 2 phases, the phase of attraction and the phase of deeper interest. When a woman is attracted to you, then the real process begins. And depending on whether you want an affair or a relationship with her, the process looks different, so I want to make you an offer. It's the fastest, easiest, and smartest way to get the woman you want. No matter what kind of woman you prefer, no matter what type of personality she is, with one little exception, my methods don't work on dominant women. So if you prefer dominant women, I have to disappoint you. I have tested the system a few times on such personalities and it didn't show a great effect on that kind of woman. But luckily most women in our society are of submissive nature, so this system works on 85% of the women out there. The methods of my system are based on fundamental psychology and use exactly the illusions which get planted in the minds of women by the movie industry up from an early age. As already mentioned, I got the basics for this system from a good friend and colleague. And thanks to my curious nature, I was able to develop these methods even further. The result is that this psychological system works for you even if you don't look good, and even if you have little or no experience with women. You may be wondering now, is that manipulation? And the answer is yes. The methods of my system are highly manipulative. But every kind of interaction with someone is also a kind of manipulation. On the other hand, the only thing that matters is the outcome. If the outcome is that you get what you want, and she is also happy by falling in love with the man of her dreams or by having an exciting affair, then tell me, what could be wrong with that? The only thing I would like to ask you for is that you deal responsibly with the knowledge that I offer you in the next minutes. Have you ever heard the phrase that great power means also great responsibility? I don't want that you destroy existing relationships when children are involved. I don't want that you assert your interests without care about the woman. I have to admit that I did this earlier to get what I want, and believe me, I shame myself today. There are enough women out there who are open to a casual affair or friendship plus. So don't make a woman who searches for a true relationship fall in love with you to just satisfy your sexual fantasies. In the complete coaching, I will tell you without any exception all psychological knowledge that I have acquired over 6 years. These methods allowed me to transform from a young loser to a successful man when it comes to picking up women. I will teach you the difference between logic and attraction, which is very important to make a woman fall in love with you, because what pleases a woman and what attracts her are completely different things. I will teach you how you can use the female urge for acceptance to your advantage, and how to get categorized as a potential lover or partner instead of as only a good friend. I will teach you the 3 things that a woman needs to feel attracted by a man. These parts are really important. If you lack only one of them, then the other 2 lose their effect. On the other hand, women will be extremely attracted to you if you combine these 3 characteristics in your personality. The father is by far the most important male reference person in the life of every woman, so I will tell you which psychological tricks can be gained from that knowledge, and how you can use so-called daddy issues to your advantage. I will show you the difference between picking up a woman at night or during the day, and a comfortable method that you can use every day to pick up women with little effort to catch any opportunity. Like I already told you, I'm not a fan of Hollywood romantics, so I will share with you a more effective way to implement truth romantic, and I will show you why timing is so important when it comes to use romantic in general. It's not all about psychology. It is also important to be able to interpret the body language of a woman correctly and notice subconsciously signals. So I will show you how to detect these signals and how you can find out if a woman is mentally, emotionally, or physically driven. I'm going to show you a psychological technique that is often used in sales pitches to gain sympathy from potential customers. In our case, you will learn to use this technique when it comes to picking up a woman. I'll show you tricks that you can use if you are in conversation with a woman and don't know what to talk about next, and the best way to deal with competitors and jealousy. If you are already afraid to speak with women, that's no problem, because in the coaching, I will show you a method with which I have managed to make an old friend lose his fear. When it comes to online dating, your profile is your advertisement. You are the product, and the women are the customers. I had also made a lot of experiences with online dating and will share all my tips and tricks with you, because there are a lot of manipulative marketing tricks that you can use when it comes to online dating. So I'm also going to show you some manipulation techniques which get often used in marketing and which can also be used when it comes to arousing the interest of a woman. I will share with you what I call the Wonderland trick. You can use this trick in some regular dating apps to get in contact with women who deal with sex in a much more pragmatic way. To get to the point, I will show you also many other methods and psychological tricks in this coaching. In other words, I will teach you all my knowledge about women. Finally, I will also show you a psychological technique to seduce women step by step into having sex. You can use this method regardless of picking up a woman at the club, on the street, or when you are already at home with her. This method is highly manipulative. So as already mentioned, please use all these psychological methods responsibly. Don't be afraid, all the content will be conveyed in an understandable way and in simple English language. So if you understand the content of this video here, then you won't have any problems with the coaching content. A famous quote from Jesse Owens was, "You only need one chance to succeed." So now I ask you, do you want to change your life? Yes or no? If yes, then here it is. This psychological knowledge changed my life, and I promise you, it will change yours too.